God, Ronnie.
Can't wait to see a new body. Don't be acting like you don't know nobody.
Hey y'all, welcome back, or welcome, bienvenidos, happy new year. So I wanted to start off the new year with a 6-month update from last year. I thought it would be a good time to just kind of recap what the last 6 months of 2019 looked like for me. It's mostly for my benefit to know how I can improve upon myself this year in these next coming months. 2020, I plan to accomplish a few different things. With this video right here though, I just wanted to do a voiceover and kind of some chit chat around what's been going on, what did go on during those 6 months, and just what my future is going to look like or what my goals are right now. So last year, I kind of maintained the same weight. I weighed around 170 throughout the entire year. Most of my focus was on growing muscle during this time. I was not trying to cut. I was mostly trying to bulk. So that's what my goal was during these 6 months, with the exception of November and December, which I'll get into a bit later, just in a second. I did have a bit of a bloated stomach during this time, and through trial and error with testing with different workouts or eating certain things,
child. Anyway, so
I learned that later, what you eat really determines how your stomach will look. And I know a lot of people are always saying, abs are made in the kitchen. I didn't believe it for the longest, but during November and December, I really found out that that was true. Now, when it comes to Apetamin, during these 6 months, I was kind of trying to see how much weight I could maintain for myself, to see if I really needed Apetamin or if I could just choose certain meals or put together certain meals to eat to gain the weight without the use of Apetamin. Now, don't get me wrong, there are those days or even weeks where I felt like not eating as much. Like, there would be days where I would eat, and I know this sounds bad, I would eat between like maybe 900 to 1200 calories, and I really normally shoot for above 2,400 calories when I'm in a bulking stage. So that's not the greatest, but yeah, so we're in August right now. I'm just kind of talking through this entire video. I will say for right now, actually no, I'll still talk about those few months. So 2019, the year in general, I feel like it was the first year that I had been the most consistent with going to the gym. Now, back in 2016, I was very consistent, but then 2017 came and I did a lot of moving around. I moved from like South Carolina up to Boston, from Texas, all of that. So it was hard to kind of get back into my groove with my schedule for the gym, especially since when I lived in Texas back in 2016, in the apartment that I was in, there was a gym in the apartment. So it was easier for me to go every day. And that's something that I've been trying to get back into the groove of over, it's like between 2017 and 2018 and like the beginning of 2019. So I'm glad that I'm finally kind of back there, I mean, no gym is going to be as convenient as a gym that's right in your apartment, you know? So anyway, once I found that I was able to maintain this weight of around 170 over these past couple of months, when it came to November and December, to be honest, since that's the holiday time, I did want to use that as a bulking period, but I've been trying to see if I bulk, will I know how to lose my stomach? If I continue to bulk, will I know how to lose the fat around my stomach? So I did a lot of testing with different workouts, and I'll be uploading those in a future video, but I really found that what helped me the most was replacing rice or different foods that are more calorie dense. I replaced it with spinach. So when it came to cutting for fat loss, I started focusing on eating more protein packed foods and snacks, drinking a ton of water, which I normally did anyway. I normally eat half my body weight in ounces of water, if that makes sense. So if I weigh 170, then I'll drink about 85 or anywhere between like 60 to 90 ounces really of water, if that makes sense. But yeah, so drinking a ton of water as usual. And what I also found helped work the most was reducing my sugar intake and sodium intake. Now for me personally, I know for a fact that sodium in general can make some people bloat, but I know for a fact, like when it comes to me and what I see in my family, I noticed that sodium definitely does contribute to bloatedness, like within the legs or anything like that. So I wanted to make sure that I was minimizing my sodium intake as much as possible. So yeah, that and sugar, sodium and sugar. When it came to cutting, I also, like I already mentioned, I replaced rice with spinach and peppers or any sort of other vegetable. So my dinners typically look like a rice, a protein, which would be any sort of meat. I would usually go with chicken, and a vegetable. So now when cutting, what I would do instead is have like my chicken, I would have some peppers, and I would have that over a bed of spinach instead of a bed of rice. So that's been working really well for me when it comes to cutting fat loss in the stomach area. And I also noticed that during that time, I'm still talking about November and December, I noticed during that time that really did help me cut fat in my stomach area, but also not really affect my glutes as much. So I was still able to maintain the same kind of measurement for my butte, which that's always good news. When you're cutting fat loss and the first area that it attacks is you losing your butt. So like I said, that was really good for me to find out. So for the upcoming year, January, I started using Apetamin again, only because it's my last bottle and I kind of want to get rid of my last bottle because I no longer want to use Apetamin. I really am able to gain, lose, or maintain weight without Apetamin. So I'm just using my last bottle to bulk before cutting down in my stomach area again. One of the most helpful things that I learned over the last couple of months is that, like, when it comes to bulking, it's very important to still eat healthy. And I knew this before as well, but that's something I'm really trying to focus on. My meals right now consist of what I mentioned before, how it would be rice, a a protein and a vegetable. And for breakfast, I eat protein waffles and a fruit cup, and I would also drink an Ensure, which is 350 calories. All of that together is around a little over 600 calories for me. I could do another video of the different things that I eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinners. Just let me know what you guys want to see. I could also add snacks to that as well, because there are different protein packed snacks that I have throughout the day. But my focus is to increase my protein intake. I'm really focusing on protein intake and continuing to reduce the amount of sugar and sodium intake for my foods. So yeah, you guys, look, I hate voiceovers so much, but it felt really good to talk through all of that on the camera finally. I'm going to be adding my measurements down in the description, just so there's no confusion. And I'm also going to be adding my goal with those measurements. So I'm talking about like my waist, my stomach, hips, the butt area, even like my arms and my thighs, like singly my thighs. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again in another one. Bye.
Oh my god, Ronnie.
Don't be acting like you don't know nobody.